there was some like, I mean, it was uncomfortable and scary and maybe even a little traumatic. And we talked a little bit about why we were doing it. And I think in the back of her head, she has some awareness that like we're trying to figure something out, which might mean more medical care and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So there will be points, and it might come out sideways. So like, I'm aware that when she comes home from school today and like her twin sister picks up her little paper she made from school and like drops it on the floor, she's going to lose her mind.
Yeah.
Because she's actually processing out the emotions that were happening that she couldn't process when she was coping.
Correct.
And now
yes,
she's going to release them.
And I love this example of using a mechanism as a bridge, that we are using this mechanism to say, right now isn't the time for me to process.
Yep.
We see this so often. There's so many instances, in like the sleep study being a bigger instance, but maybe you're trying to like get out of the grocery store, or you're just like in a transition throughout the day where you're like, I'm going to tap into playfulness. Or I was solo parenting like a week ago for a few days, and I'm 7 billion weeks pregnant and exhausted, and I like hit a point where I was like, I need him to tap into a mechanism so that I can have a minute. And so I popped on Daniel Tiger. I was like, he's going to watch an episode of Daniel Tiger. We're all going to chill for a second. I can step away and breathe and calm. And then I know when Daniel Tiger goes off, it's going to be a total S show, and he's going to need me again. And I just need a minute to be able to be that parent. And
I'm going to use this with everyone everywhere. I love the way that you frame this. I've never thought about it quite like this, and I just think it is brilliant.
Thanks. Yeah, but I think like looking at like, how do we use mechanisms as these bridges? Now, if I was only using Daniel Tiger at all, right, and there was no like, then I walk back into it and he starts to melt and I'm like, all right, I'll just pop on another episode. And like, listen, there are seasons where this is going to be the case, and that's fine. But knowing that like when we do that, we're not then processing the experience. And for them, they're then relying on this dopamine cycle to kind of keep them afloat, versus serotonin and oxytocin, which are going to regulate, pump the brakes on the adrenaline or cortisol that's getting them all wrapped up in the first place. And then we can move through the processing, which is phase 5. That's the like problem solving, conflict resolution, moving on. That's where we talk about the experience, which is what you're going to be navigating over the next couple of days, probably a cycle between all 5 phases. But she's going to be really leaning into phase 5, where she's like, I need to talk more about this and figure this out.
Absolutely.
And make sense of it.
Yes. Yeah. So I think some of what you're also talking about is like holding the short-term and the long-term goals. So like the short-term goals are coping, like, okay, I need to get my kid into the car. But the long-term goals are emotion tolerance and co-regulation, learning to lean into other people when you're upset. Like, I mean, most of the job I do working with my adult clients is helping people learn to lean on other people and to like trust that process. Like, once that starts happening, once someone is able to go, you know what, I'm having a hard time, I'm going to be vulnerable, I'm going to reach for somebody that I know loves me and cares about me, that's when their mental health starts to improve.
Correct.
Right? And so we want our kids to learn that young, so they're not having to learn that when they're, 38. We want them to learn that when they are in the care of our house, in the care of our home.
Frankly, however old they are right now is like a great place to start.
Yes. That's right. Exactly. Wherever they are. What's the other thing I love about all of this information is it's all attachment related. And what we know about attachment is you can shift your attachment patterns in a relationship and within yourself at any point in your life. It's never too late, and it's never too late for you and your kids. And okay, so I saw you put a link for your book.
Yeah, somebody ask, can you drop the link in?
Love it.
It publishes next week. Again, I read the audio book, and it's available globally in a whole lot of countries, and it was wherever books are sold, but I popped the link in there so you can find it.
I love it. Also, if anyone wants to listen to Alyssa more, she has a podcast.
I do. Yeah, Voices of Your Village podcast, and Eli's going to be on it in a couple of months. We recorded, and I drop a new episode every Thursday.
So lots of good information. So buy the book, get some new information. I am so excited that this is happening in the world. This is a funny, weird thing to say, but I just feel so proud of you.
Oh,
thank you. Like, look what you've done. Look what you've done. How incredible. And how many people are going to just be so relieved to have this information and these skills and tools and all of that.
I
So
feel so grateful to live at a time where people care about raising emotionally
it's
intelligent kids.
pretty
Like
cool.
that
I
feels
agree.
so rad to me. And yeah, grateful to have had the privilege to do research on this and be able to serve folks with tools that I've had the privilege of using now for years. Thank
Love it.
you. Thank you for
So glad.
sharing about it and for doing the work you're doing. It's so fun to be able
Our
to
team, you
alongside.
know, I think about like anyone who's out there preaching the messages of healing and connection and attunement and
Yeah.
attachment and co-regulation and emotion. I'm like, we're all a team.
Yeah,
It
same
takes a,
goal.
it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a village to change the world. And I'm
Totally.
so thankful for you and what you're doing and the synchronicity of our work.
Thank you.
So,
Same. And to all the humans who care about it and are diving into it and
oh, thank
buying the
God.
books and doing the work. Thanks.
Yes, I love it. Okay, I'm
Awesome.
going to answer
Thanks,
some
Eli.
questions, but I know you need to go.
Yeah.
So you go and I'll
Okay.
try and answer some of these questions
Okay.
for everybody. All
Bye-bye.
right. Mwah.